Rewind for 2025. You'll notice our co-host Grant Howland unable to join us today. Last seen at Royal Briley, hitting some balls. Looking forward to what will be another amazing week. But we do have the pleasure of being joined by the 2024 and reigning Triple Crown champion, Mr. Peter Okotel. Welcome to the Dunes.
Yes. Look, I'd love to be out on the practice putting green with you, Brady, but at the minute I'm just in the locker room and just gathering my thoughts before the weekend. So, look, give me 10 minutes and I'll rush up top and we might even have a quick 9.
I think that'll be a wonderful idea. You don't need it. You're in very good form, but I need all the help I can get. Peter, now what has been a wonderful 12 months, and who will ever forget Kerr Lewis, your exploits there in May last year. Can you tell us about the last 12 months? Obviously, thank you for wearing the jacket firstly. Tell us about the last 12 months and what it's meant to you to be the reigning champion.
Oh, look, it was an absolute honour. But then, look, at the end of the day, Brad, who did you beat? You know, who was there? There wasn't a lot going around. Mm-hmm. And look, I remember fondly and vividly the final round. I think I was playing with you in the group and Bear mm-hmm. and some other chopper. And look, I came in and I wasn't particularly happy with the round. Probably had the worst score I could have had. I had a 35, was enough to get me over the line, but that's the way. It's the rub of the green, I suppose. But since then, the question being, how's the last 12 months been? Well, it's been very, very busy. I've been kissing a lot of babies, shaking a lot of hands, mm-hmm. A lot of corporate events, and of course, got hounded a bit by the Liberal Party to be the new leader. But I said, look, bigger fish to fry.
You do look very good in blue, it must be said.
Yeah,
blue is your colour.
I did like the blue jacket. Yes, spot on, Wolsey.
Now, tell us about the medal. Obviously, very special and near and dear to your heart. Tell us a little bit more about that for the if you hundreds of thousands of viewers.
It was introduced last year, if you remember, the replica of the Victoria Cross, and is given to someone in the group who has shown outstanding courage and perseverance under fire. So after the last round, I duly presented it to myself, but it could go to someone. It could. That's the key word. It could go to someone else after Friday. On the first round, we'll see who shows those and exhibits those traits.
Very much looking forward to that, where we will be at the Dunes. As you can see, we're currently here looking forward to another great episode of 2025 Triple Crown. Peter, obviously you've been on the tour since its inception. It's meant many, many things to many people. There is only 12 fortunate tourists that can go every year. There's hundreds of thousands of people that are watching us online now. Tell us what the Triple Crown means to you, Peter.
Oh, look, I just think it's an opportunity, one of probably only 2 or 3 opportunities throughout the year where you can pitch yourself against the best. And I know that there's plenty of other people out there who would break a leg to get onto this tour, but it's a bit like the FedEx Cup final. It's only the elite of the elite, and I think that if you can come out on top, well, I think that says a lot about your own character and your own strength of mind. Because it is a mind game, Brett. It is as much as a mind game as it is the physical, technical side of things.
I think I can only vouch for that, and fortunately or unfortunately, I've been a victim of that many times over. Turning an eye to the competition and those 12 tourists that will head over the pond Friday morning once again this year, Peter, who do you, if any, to be fair, do you see as a potential threat to your crown? Pardon the pun.
Oh, look, I'd have to dig deep, but look, probably at a stretch, Corbett, Van der Star, Eldridge, Howland, Skilbeck.
Yep.
Mackenzie's playing some tidy golf, just had 37 yesterday in the Vets.
Yep.
Allen playing well. PK won't miss a fairway. Mm-hmm. Lex, no good over the bridge. Who have I missed out on? Anyway, whoever I've missed out on obviously aren't good enough. So, but there's a fair few threats there.
It was starting to sound like the race call there for a moment. Now, very fortunate for you, we are back at Kerr Lewis on the Sunday, so that will obviously fit your eye quite nicely. The Dunes, as patron and host to the Dunes, we look forward to having the troop come on over on Friday. Tell us a little bit about the courses. Where do you feel like the Triple Crown can be won and or lost?
Well, Dunes on the first day, you can't win it on the first day, but by jingos, you can lose it, because many a year I've seen players that don't score so well on the first day get on the piss, and their whole weekend is ruined, gone, GAWN. So, so you've just got to hold yourself together first day at the Dunes, then over to Portsea to the Wannabes over there. Steady as she goes there, I find. I think it's they often say that the Saturday's moving day, but I like to call it more of a consolidation day. And then, of course, it's the home run. It's the sprint down the straight at Curlewis. Very, very difficult course. Very difficult course. You've got to be a master to be able to navigate your way around Curlewis, particularly if your rescue snaps on the first hole. But oh well, greater men have done it, so I'm sure one of the 12 will etch their names in history.
And just lastly on that as well, too, it's a very good point you make about Curlewis. Does the weather scare you at all about Curlewis?
No, look, all I can say to Mother Nature is bring it on, bring it on. Let's see what you got, Mama. But I think the worst conditions are going to be Saturday afternoon, though, Aldo. Saturday afternoon at Portsea, rain. Not that we experience much rain down here in Warrnambool, but we'll see. We'll have to adjust to whatever's dished up to us.
Yeah, big boy pants on Saturday, it feels
I think
for
so.
sure. Now, speaking of pants, can you give us a little bit of an insight into the wardrobe potentially? Just as much talk about the golf as there is the wardrobes. Have you got anything in mind this year?
I think the chaps will be pleasantly surprised this year. They're quite subdued. It'll be clearly on the first day. The openers is always the traditional blue with the white, so that'll be the blue and the white check. We've got something lined up for the mothers on day 2, and then we have got a bit of a soft spot for Sergio Garcia on the Sunday, so that should get a run there as well.
Vamos, correct. Now, what will no doubt be an exciting chapter, and we absolutely look forward to 2025. I'm going to leave the floor open to yourself, Peter. Any previews, any tips, anything you think might help the listeners understand a little bit more about what might potentially go on? I'll open up the floor. Any closing remarks you can bring that might provide a little bit of insight into the Triple Crown for this year?
Look, probably from history, if I take a page out of the book, there is are learnings, things that you can take with you in the future years. One would be, don't drink piss in the spa Saturday afternoon. There's number one. It doesn't prove useful for anyone, particularly Trevor. So tick that one off. 2, don't trust PK's betting. Shocking. A win is when you take more than you put in.
Wow.
A win is not just taking a portion back. So you've got to get your head around that, because it's quite frustrating at times. And 3, only skip breakfast if you are severely ill. Or that would be the next one, because Corby does put on a great breakfast. But geez, if you've had a few of the beverages from Mine Host, it might be hard to keep down. Now, other than that, take it one hole at a time, one shot at a time, and don't forget to breathe.
Oh, nice. I'm just making notes feverishly as we speak. Peter, it has been nothing short of an absolute pleasure. We wish you all the very best of luck. And in 12 months' time, when Grantley's technical issues are hopefully overcome and he can join us in the 2026 preview, I absolutely thank you for your time. Wish you all the very best. It takes a champion to win one. It takes a bigger champion to go back to back. So all the very best. Have a wonderful tour. Take all that feedback in mind. And I really appreciate your time again, Peter.
And just a reminder to all the lads, there's only one bloke that can go back to back. So we'll just leave it with that, shall we?
Beautiful words. We'll see you next year for the next edition of the Triple Crown preview.
Thanks, Brett.